guests may play clones on TV, but they're both complete originals. Here to talk about Bad Batch Season 2, it's the man of 1,000 different clones, D. Bradley Baker, and the voice of Omega, Michelle Ng.
The cavalry has arrived!
Michelle, welcome to Star Wars Celebration.
Thank you.
This isn't just her first celebration, guys. This is her first convention ever. So
It's my first convention ever. So I'm feeling... it's really emotional, and I'm feeling very overwhelmed and really amazing. And
it's all downhill from here because this is the best one.
We love you too.
But what is it like finally meeting your cast and crew face to face, because you were doing most of your recording remotely, right?
Yeah, it's so wild. Like, really, this journey began, like 2.5 years ago. And I think, the first 2 recordings, we were together. And then the rest of it has been this, like, kind of wild technology separated, but very much together, because the recordings, we have Brad and Jen, and we're all on a call together. So I feel like they're in my recording booth with me, but then literally I'm like, wow, nice to meet you in person, in real life, just at the start of this convention.
This convention is the first time we've seen each other in over 2 years, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's always strange meeting your coworkers for the first time. You're like, wow, you're way taller than I expected. We see, Dee's characters who we've seen for years. Yeah, obviously, we're getting to meet these new clones, but Omega's new on the scene. Michelle, are there any parts of your personality that you've brought to the character?
I mean, I think inevitably you sort of, you can't help but add your own perspective. Obviously, Omega is this like real young innocent, so I had to shed away some of my like adult jadedness a little bit, but it was a lovely experience to be taken right back to that point in in your life where like everything is new and everything is fresh. But it is kind of funny because, I feel like I'm from New Zealand. We have a very specific sense of humor and casualness. And I feel like, there will be some times when we're in a recording session and like there's something big happening, and then there's like an Omega line that I'll just kind of casually throw away because it's sort of like my New Zealandness sneaking in. And Brad's like, no, this is a really big moment. I'm like, yeah. So I think there's elements of that sneak in, and also I can be a little stubborn, and I think when we first meet the Bad Batch, Omega is very, very new and doesn't really know her place in the world, let alone in her family. And then as we storytell and in season 2, she gets to grow up a little bit, and so yeah, that's going to be an exciting journey for you guys too, hopefully.
That's great. Now, in your own personal Star Wars journeys, are there any particular favorite memories that you have, from your years of working with these characters and in this galaxy? Michelle, how about you? I mean, you're just getting started on your Star Wars journey, but how's that been for you so far?
I mean, yeah, there's so many. The question was, what's my favorite moment?
Yeah.
Like, every recording there is a favorite moment. Obviously, in the very, very early recordings, my character name, when I read it, I say Omega. And
That's funny how you talk.
I talk funny. What can I say?
I do too. I talk funny to my Lula too, so it's all right.
You're my favorite, Rekka. You're my favorite. So yeah, that was like a funny little moment. I'm like, wait, and then having to like sort of thinking and rethinking it. But so that was one. And then on a slightly more serious note, there's great action moments, but something that I personally really love is all the emotional storylines that Omega gets to be a part of. And there's some big ones, like in season 1, and the whole dialogue with Crosshair. I just remember playing that scene, and yeah, just always surprising, even though I'm in a little four-walled booth, like how much that hit me. So those emotional scenes, like with Crosshair, with Rekka, and then obviously at the end of season 1 where Camino and Tapoka City get
It's devastating.
devastated. That was a pretty big moment for me.
Now, as an old Star Wars fan yourself, what does the Star Wars fandom mean to you?
How has Star Wars fandom revealed itself to you?
Yeah, I mean, both
at
have-
this your first convention.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the freshest eyes on it. I mean, honestly, it's just so accepting. I'm like really touched by like just the diversity and all how you can come from a big city, a small city, you've come from a large family. Like every person I've met has been just so passionate and most importantly so kind. Like I've been really blown away with how inclusive and how generous all the people that I've met are. And if that's what Star Wars family is, then I'm really happy to be a part of it.
It's this. Star Wars is so special because not only of the fans that keep it strong and love it, but the people that are in it and continue these stories and put their own love into it. So thank you guys both for joining us out here. And season 2 sounds like it's going to be just as fun as the first. So y'all give it up one more time for Dee Bradley Baker and Michelle Ang. And stick around because we have more from our stage at Celebration Live in just a minute.
For more information on audio dramatisations, please visit www.tribeworld.com. Keep the dream alive.